It's time for the Coach Perry Liles Show with Michael Harrison. The Coach's Show is brought to you in part by Stanford Family Dental and Vision Center, by Sun Bear Studio, and by the Shark 1023. Here now is Michael Harrison.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Coach Perry Liles Show. The Ripley Tigers on the road tonight taking on the Amory Panthers. Last week at home, Ripley defeated Itawamba 38-6 to stay undefeated on the season. More importantly, Coach, go 3-0 in Region 1-4A. Congratulations on a win and your 31st win, I believe, as the Tigers head coach. You passed John Curley.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate. More importantly, though, we passed the test and made it for a home game in the playoffs with that win, and I'm so proud for our kids.
It was an exciting ball game. We hadn't played Fulton or Itawamba. I still like to call them Fulton because I'm kind of old school like that, but haven't played them in the regular season in a while. We played them in the playoffs a couple of times. It's always great to renew that rivalry, and they had the best of us the last several times that they had played us. In fact, we had beaten them since 2014, and they had a good football team, but I thought, of course, with Ty Long coming back, it kind of maybe gave us a little extra energy, and Ty performed exceptionally well for somebody that hadn't got to practice much or play at all this year.
Yeah, and like I've told you before, he's been at every practice, though, and he's just a leader on our team, and we're excited about having him back.
But you won the coin toss to start the game, to start the officiating, with the getting the coin toss set up, and you deferred your option to the second half, putting your defense on the field first. Talk about that decision and putting your defense out there. I know that you've got a lot of confidence in those guys, and it paid off by you getting a field position early.
Yeah, I'll do that 99% of the time because I feel confident with our defense, but also I like to begin the second half getting the football.
The Tigers got a short punt from Amory. C.J. Martin got it inside the 50. We took over to 46, and didn't take us long to get into the end zone. About 3 plays. Ty kept it on his first run. It was a read option play, and he picked up about 9 yards. Got us a little closer on the next play, and then he hit C.J. Martin for a 27-yard touchdown. Very similar to this, may have been the same play that we ran against Tishomingo County for one of our scores last week.
Very close to it with backside post, and he put it right on the money, and C.J. made the catch, and it's exciting to have him back.
And how nervous were, I guess, on that first play where he had the option to keep it, and he does, and he showed no fear, I thought, on that first play keeping the football, because with a shoulder injury, you just worry about that lick that might re-aggravate that, I guess.
Yeah, I told him to take care of yourself, and he said, "I will, Coach." So I have confidence in him, and he made a good read and did what he needed to do.
So we go up 7-0, and very quickly we get the ball back to Amory, and again the defense comes up with a huge stop, forces another punt. We take over a little bit deeper in our end of the field this time on the 26, but then go on another very good drive, get some big plays, a big pass play from Long to Michael Turner, and it was vintage Ty Long where he just kind of ad-libbed that play, had found Michael, and Michael went up and made a great catch along the sideline.
He was well covered, but the truth is he was held all the way down the field, so guys should have been close to him. But again, you're right. Ty threw it up to him. Michael goes up and catches it, and we're in business again down in their territory.
Later, the Tigers would score their second touchdown. Keegan Strong scores his 11th rushing touchdown of the year. That puts Ripley up 14-0, and Keegan continues to play well. And because of the injury to Ja'Kai Holmes, now playing more both sides of the ball, and so good to see him continuing to excel on both sides. He gets in the running game, and he seems like he's improving every week as a runner.
To me, that was the hardest running game that he has had all year. 3 and 4 people hitting him, he's still getting yards and just turning and twisting, and ran real hard. Like I said, that's the best game he's had rushing the football in traffic, and very proud of him. I think to me, he plays better when he goes both ways. Because he's an excellent cornerback also, and I don't know, it just keeps him in the game better. So we try to rest him some actually on offense by getting other backs in there. we sort of do that with all our defensive players. A lot of our backs start on defense, so we try to mix it up. But I am so proud of the effort that Keegan gave in this game and all the games this year.
Ripley would go up 21-0 later when Evan Goolsby hauled in a 15-yard touchdown pass, another outstanding throw and catch in the back of the end zone. Evan went up in traffic and pulled that down. Ty laid it right in there where only he could catch it, and then just a great first quarter going up 21-0.
Yeah, again, that's me saying throwing it to your buddy because he probably was covered. I will say this, though, they did a good job scouting us because every time we put 32 in, they'd holler, watch a boot pass, watch a boot pass. And every time we threw it, people were open. And we're not open. They were covered well. And I thought Ty made a good decision and gave him a chance to catch it, and he did.
So Itawamba comes back on their next series. They're driving down the field. Looks like they're fixing to go in for a score, but have a tip pass picked off by Michael Turner. And then he turns on the jets and races almost 80 yards for a touchdown the other way, and really puts the game not really away at that point, but really a backbreaker for Itawamba. It put us up 28-0, and again we see how fast Michael Turner is.
I know, and really sort of the background on that. To me, 15 is one of the best players that Itawamba had. Probably it was the best player, and we put Michael man on him, and he really made a move on Michael the couple plays before, but got caught about 34-yard catch himself, I think. And Michael just showed what he is, and he was determined to make a play, and he turned on the Jets and ran all the way back with that pick six.
That put the Tigers up 28-0, and then later in the second quarter, we get the ball and go on a sustained drive with the lead to go to the wishbone and start eating up some clock, eating up some yardage as well, just methodically driving the ball down the field, cap it off with a Jalen Brooks 4-yard touchdown run. And I thought Jalen ran the ball better than I've seen him. It looked like he ran, as we've talked about before, behind his pads better in this game than we've seen him before.
You're right, Coach Pittman, even though he's a defensive line coach, he played running back in college and at Kossuth and at Ole Miss, and he's worked with Jalen about doing that and being a little better and not spinning around as much and just running the football, and I think that is helping us.
Second week in a row, the Tigers have a 35-0 halftime lead, which automatically goes to the rule. Is it an automatic rule now that when you have a 35-point lead that you go to a running clock? Or is there any discussion between the coaches to not do that?
Well, it's a couple of examples. Last week against Tisch County, it was 35-0 in the first quarter. If both coaches agree, they can start that then. The rule states, though, beginning in the second half if it's a 35-point lead. And a lot of people question, well, can you go stop back to the regular way to do it? No, it's set up to the game should be over if you're ahead that far, just to run the clock out, people not get injured and things like that, run up the score. So no, it doesn't go back. Once it starts as a running clock, whether it's decided by the coaches or just by the rule in the second half, it doesn't go back and forth.
Okay, that was another question I was going to have, because I was questioning that myself on the air, that if you got back within the 35-point range, that it would go back, but that's the rule. It does not.
But it does not.
All right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk more about the game with Itawamba. Back with Coach Perry Liles in just a moment.
Stanford Family Dental and Vision, located at 306 North Commerce Street in Ripley, is a full-service dental and optometry practice. Serving Ripley and the surrounding area for over 32 years, Dr. John Stanford and Dr. Stephen Stanford offer comprehensive dental care, including oral treatment, exams, and cleanings. Dr. Megan Stanford provides optometry and optical care services for eye exams, glasses, and contacts. For more information or to set an appointment, call 662-837-7822. Everyone at Stanford Family Dental and Vision wish all Tippah County teams good luck this season.
Welcome back to the Coach Perry Liles Show. The Ripley Tigers on the road tonight, taking on Amory. Last week against Itawamba, the Tigers were leading 35-0 and getting the ball to start the second half. And Coach would come out and get points again on that first drive. We're able to drive it down the field and give Freddie Lopez another opportunity to kick a field goal. He makes a 40-yard field goal to put the Tigers up 38-0 with the running clock. And good to see Freddie get another opportunity, and he continues to play well. He kicked, I believe, a 45-yarder. They were offside, And so we got another opportunity, and he makes it from 40.
Yeah, I was going to say that same thing. I think people are starting to do that, just jump off sides on purpose, just to get a little nerve, but you're not going to mess with Freddie's nerves. So you're right, he made 45, then he made it 40, and glad he scores a lot for our team, you know, and that made, he kicks all those extra points, and field goals will get opportunity.
Yeah, he's now our second leading scorer with Keegan getting that rushing touchdown, but he scored 63 points in 8 games, and he's right on the verge of setting even more records, which seems to be impossible. I think he owns almost every kicking record that we've got, but
yeah, that's pretty amazing to score that many points with your kicker.
It is.
And of course, we want to keep doing that because that's helped us win a lot of games.
Yeah, because he's 11 field goals. That's almost. I mean, that's college-like. You know, just to get that many opportunities in a high school game is amazing.
And they're not little short kicks either. Most of them are really 35 or plus when we try that.
So Itawamba's able to come back, get a touchdown. They throw a long pass to Cooper Waddle from their quarterback John Austin Wood, and the final score was 38-6 as the Tigers run the clock out. Were able to get the victory, stay undefeated, and set up a big showdown with Amory this week. Huge ball game. I know y'all were excited to get that win. Itawamba had knocked us out of the playoffs a couple of years ago, and it was good to come back and get that victory.
Yeah, it's always nice to be at Itawamba, like you said, and they're a good program, and that sort of defines what we're doing. We play good programs all year, and we're playing one this week tonight in Amory.
Talk about the defensive effort again. You know, we keep talking about how good our defensive. The second week in a row, we've scored a defensive touchdown. Scored 2 against Tishomingo. Scored 1 against Itawamba. Those guys continue to play well, and it's a team effort on the defense because you've got the guys up front. They're not trying to do, you know, get numbers and get sacks and stuff. They do what they're assigned to do to let the other guys behind them, the linebackers, get most of the tackles and things. But then you got that secondary back there as well that's virtually a lockdown secondary because you got a couple of great corners and 2 good safeties that just make it difficult for the other team to throw the ball. Itawamba threw it 28 times. They completed several, most of them short passes. Not really. They got a couple of long ones on us, but the defensive backfield has been outstanding.
Yeah, our defensive line, it starts with those guys, and they're taught techniques to protect the linebackers. I look at the stats each week, and Jalen Brooks and Cooper Davis are usually the leading tacklers. The third one is our middle linebacker, Fortnite's what I call him, Demarion Williams, and that's what we want because we want, you know, that forefront up there. We need them to protect those linebackers, let them make plays, and then our safeties really are like linebackers when they read run, they're coming up to their side and making tackles, and it's so good to see our tackles are like that because you know, we play some people that run a zone, and sometimes your defensive line will try to make those plays, and that messes us up tremendously. But they've done a good job. Coach White does a great job on that, and so I'm very proud of our defense. And then our secondary, you're right, they're very solid. Most seniors play on that, even past the starters. So they should be ready to do that. And Coach Allen does a good job with them.
Should be a good matchup tonight. We'll talk about that when we come back. The Ripley Tigers taking on the Amory Panthers in Tupelo. We'll be back with Coach Liles in just a moment.
Hey there! Did you know that every week radio reaches 90% of all people with disposable income? That's more than any other media. The fact is, radio is the #1 most effective and cost-effective ways to reach current and potential customers. If you have a business, service, or event you want to let folks know about, put it on the radio. If you want to tell our dedicated Shark listeners about your business or event, click advertise at shark102.3.com and put it on the radio.
Welcome back to the Coach Perry Liles Show. The Ripley Tigers on the road tonight. Not a true road game, but not a home game for the Tigers, playing Amory in Tupelo. Of course, Amory, their stadium was heavily damaged in the tornadoes we had this past spring, and they have been virtually playing every game on a road situation. Tupelo has allowed them to use their field, which is turf, and that We played on that field last year in the Jamboree. We played Itawamba down there at that, so that's not going to be totally new for us. We played Corinth on turf before, so it's not a new situation. But talk a little bit, Coach, about what challenges that presents, maybe equipment-wise, is the things that you have to change playing on turf versus playing on the natural grass.
Well, the good thing about it doesn't provide any turfs now like that, or you wear the same clothes, and our kids are gonna tape up their arms, and other people do that, but they've been doing that just to look cool anyway. So really, it gets no. I didn't even think about it. It's that blue field. We're excited about playing on it. When we did play on it, we played well. So I hope that continues tonight.
Talk about the Amory Panthers. Coach Dampier, his brother, of course, coaches at Houston. Their dad, Charlie Dampier, was a great coach in North Mississippi for many years, and they're carrying on that legacy. And talk a little bit about what we're going to see from both offensively and defensively from Amory tonight.
Yeah, offensively, I feel like their running back, Randall, number 22, is really good, and of course he's going to go to a lot with him. They throw the ball pretty well also, so they made a challenge that we've seen all the things that they run. We just have to stop that. So that's what they look at offensively. They got also one of their offensive tackles is playing on Mississippi Alabama game, and then their centers got a 4-year scholarship offer also. So 2 of their offensive linemen are really good, and not in my opinion, but in everybody else's opinion too. And to me, that back is really good. So offensive, that's what they throw at us. Defensively, they run an odd front most of the time. They'll play man sometimes. They'll play cover 4 sometimes. It just depends on what formation we give them. Sometimes they'll be in a 3-3 stack look also. So they present a challenge of that. The biggest challenge to me, though, defensive, they run the football well. I went and watched them live against Tisch County, and I'm like, they hit them hard from the very first play. So they play up and forward and fast, and we just have to meet that challenge.
Yeah, I watched them a little bit on film. They run mainly out of a pistol set or shotgun sometimes with 2 backs, but mainly out of a pistol. They like to use a lot of play action when they throw it. So that running game actually sets up a lot of their throwing game. It
does, and Houston and Amory look alike, to be honest, because they're brothers and they run the same stuff, probably the same system. They have a history of great coaches in their father. It's funny, on our staff, Coach Seago played against them, coached with their dad, so he knows them personally, and sometimes, that's advantage or disadvantage, but we're excited about facing them.
Special teams wise, they look pretty good from what I saw. They have good kicking game as well.
They're well coached in all aspects of it, and you're right. They're good at punting, and hope we get to make them punt even. But they're good at playing, returning kicks and stuff. So we have to be on our toes.
From what I've seen too, they're very opportunistic. They're very much like us. I mean, we're almost mirror images of each other. They take advantage of field position. They take advantage of turnovers when it's been given to them, and they don't turn the ball over a tremendous amount. So
yeah, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
That's what good teams are going to be like each other, and being physical. I think that's where both of us are the same too, because they're Amory. They've been that way no matter who the coach has been, and they have a great coaching staff now. It's just taking them to be like that again, and so we have a challenge on our hands.
Injury-wise, the Tigers still coming in pretty good shape.
We're doing fine. Jakai's out for the year. He's not going to play anymore, so that's the only one that's been starting that we're missing.
Yeah, I hated to hear that he had a season-ending injury, and of course we're going to keep him out of basketball as well, and just wish him the best, and hope everything heals up fine. And I think he's got a great opportunity to extend his career at either junior college or senior college if he gets that chance.
Yeah, he just got to get well, and he has 9 months to do that, and I think he'll be fine.
All right, we're going to take our final break. We'll come back and wrap things up with Coach Liles after this.
Kudzu 104.9's corner of the world is chock full of talented musicians, and right in the middle of all that talent is Sun Bear Studio, a boutique recording studio in the heart of Ripley, Mississippi. When you record with us at Sun Bear Studio, we can mix, master, register, and publish your music. We can create CDs and get your music out to all the major streaming platforms. So email us when you're ready at sunbear@jc.media. Record your first or your next hit with
Welcome back
us.
to the Coach Perry Liles Show. The Ripley Tigers on the road tonight, taking on the Amory Panthers. It's for basically a region championship, Coach. We win this game, and the Tigers have a undefeated region schedule and end up winning the championship #1 seed. We haven't won a region title since 2007. It would be our first in 4A, but the challenge is a big one tonight against Amory.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me of that, and we'll be fine. But you're right, and we look at it. You know, everybody say, "Well, you're nervous about that and do all that." We're really not. We're just gonna go play football, and whatever happens, and that's how we play every Friday. Is just handle the situation, do the best we can.
Well, we wish you good luck, and as always, we appreciate you taking time to come by and visit with us.
Thank you so much. Go Tigers!
That's Coach Perry Liles. This is Michael Harrison saying stay tuned for Ripley Tiger football coming up next.
You've been listening to the Coach Perry Liles Show with Michael Harrison, brought to you by the Stanford Family Dental and Vision Center, Sun Bear Studio, and by the Shark 102.3.